Hey damsels, welcome to another episode of Damsels After Dark. If you're new here, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Kristen.
And on our corner of the internet, we rant, review, obsess, rave on, hate on, all things books.
Today we'll be reviewing Throne of the Fallen by Kerri... I don't know how to say it. Kerri Maniscalco? Kerri. It's by Kerri.
Kerri M. If you're new to our episodes, in the first half we will do a basic synopsis of the book and then we give our individual ratings. Towards the end we will do our spoiler section, which is where we will talk about our hated and most loved parts, but we'll give you a warning before then.
If you want to follow along with us, our reading and review schedule will be linked in the description below.
Without further ado,
let's jump into it.
So, for those of you OGs who have been with us for a while, maybe you might have seen that it is officially our 2-year anniversary.
Yes, it is. 2 years, because I can always remember because of this fucking heat.
Every time. I don't know why we started in the summer, but, I mean, it's not even summer, though.
It's not. It's technically not summer out here yet. I mean, that's for the weather. It's usually gets a lot hotter, but we always suffer. For some reason, every day of the week will be 60 degrees, but on film day, it's 85, and we're just like, what the fuck?
And our studio just holds in heat.
Yeah.
Just compacts it.
It's a sauna.
It is. So we have, like, 3 fans blowing on us. We have yet to defeat the heat in any of our episodes. So if you look in our summer episodes last year, you probably heard the fan.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely saw the sheen.
You could see the plant moving. You could also just, like, see it in our faces. We're just like...
Yeah.
It's too fucking hot.
Yeah, it is too hot. But yeah, it sucks that it's already starting and it's only going to get worse from here. Because it's only like, what, 75 or something?
Right now, no, it's 80.
Oh, is it 80?
It's like 79, 80. No, it is 80. Today's supposed to be the hottest day of the week.
Oh my god. Of course it's.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, film day. You might have also noticed that we missed a few weeks. And that was because, well, just the universe doesn't like us to film. Part of it was us, but then when we were ready to film, shit hit the fan.
Yep.
Kristen's fucking tires. I got deathly ill.
Yeah, we just had one hell of a week that week.
Yeah.
And then the power went out anyway, so...
Yeah.
Like, today the power... Yeah, today the power went out. We're filming a lot later than we should have.
Yep. I literally pull up, and Kristen's like, the power's out. No! And it came on earlier than it was supposed to, but then, of course, we had fucking camera issues, and we had lighting issues, and it's just a never-ending cycle.
We always have issues. Always. There's. It wouldn't be a film day if we didn't have at least one issue.
Yeah. So just know, like, we're doing it the most to just sit here and talk about a book. We are doing so much.
And not even, like, the best books either. I mean, these books aren't too bad, but, like, fuck, man.
Yeah, we're doing it all. We're slaying demons over here, slaying dragons, trying to stop us from talking about these books, but we're here. We're doing it. But so 2 years ago, we started our show, and the first book that we did was a book by Kerri, the Kingdom of the Wicked series. And if you are an OOG, maybe you've watched it, you've laughed along with us on all 3 of those books because
those books.
We ranted. We hated those books.
Yeah.
Hated them.
I didn't mind the second, but the first and third, it just increasingly got bad in that third book. That book, that was probably, I would have DNF'd that series.
Yes. The second book is the only good one, and the only reason is because the spice is pretty good, and, like, there are some really good things that happen, but, like, the overall plot still sucked. Yes. The overall characters still sucked. The main character, Amelia. But, yeah, it really is. The third book kind of just ruined everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we hated it. Now, there was a character in there that I really liked, and it wasn't the main character, but I liked his brother, Envy. Because if you know anything about the Kingdom of the Wicked books, it basically has all of the 7 brothers of hell. Like, they each rule their circle in hell, or their kingdom in hell. And Envy was my favorite, along with the other one.
I like Lust and Sloth.
And yeah.
Gluttony actually was not too bad.
I did like Gluttony too. Pride was also really good when we got him toward, I think, the end of that book. Like, the brothers I really liked, but Envy was definitely my favorite. So when I heard that Kerri was going to write a book for each of the brothers, I was a little bit interested. Even though, man, did we trash these books. But I was like, you know what? I really like Envy. I think I'm going to have to read his book.
And her spice isn't bad. Her spice is really good.
Yeah, and her spice was good. And these books, her newer set for the Prince of Sins, these ones are supposed to be officially adult books.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so she's going to have even more smut in it. It's gonna be envy. So Kristen, we have to do it.
I was so reluctant because it's not necessary. If a book is just plot based for the smut, I'd be fine. But like, I was like, but her plot in itself is so shitty.
Yes.
I'm really worried that the female character is going to be shitty because even when I was like, I didn't really like Wrath that much. He was okay.
Yeah.
But he was nothing special. The FMC sucked. So I'm like, I'm worried she's gonna do something to ruin it. But surprisingly, yeah.
So we picked this one to be filmed specifically this time so that we can do kind of like an anniversary book. We can check back in on Kerri and see how she's doing because honestly, she was blacklisted for me. I was like, this book is, Kingdom of the Wicked is fucking trash. I don't ever want to read another book from her again. But then she tempted me with Envy, and so that's why we're here. That's a perfect segue into this summary, which essentially... This book, if you've read the other ones, then you know of Envy. He had something going on in Kingdom of the Wicked. That he was kind of doing his own thing, using Amelia in like a helpful kind of way because he had some shit going on. And so in this book, we get a little bit of information, kind of get to see what he was up to. And essentially in this book, we're following him as he plays this game. And essentially, the livelihood of his court is at stake right now. Everything's sort of crumbling, but nobody else really knows. I think the other brothers have an idea about it, and they're kind of they're popping up throughout the novel, sort of poking at him, trying to figure out what is actually going on. But he's keeping it under wraps. Nobody really knows to the extent that his court is crumbling. But when we are with him here, it's like most of his court is gone, and this is his last. He has to win whatever this game is, and he's been waiting for this game to start for centuries. And he finally gets his envelope that says that the game's starting, and he begins to go through the tasks. And one of the tasks is to get this painter that is in this specific realm to paint him a picture of a hexed item, which is something that we learned about in Kingdom of the Wicked. So that's kind of cool that this came through here too. And so her name is Camilla, and he goes and asks her, and she denies him. So for the first good half of this book, it's him trying to persuade her to paint this. And then we get the introduction of Camilla, so we get dual POV here. And Camilla is this, like, run-of-the-mill girl who's just living in this town, and she's painting, and she's kind of... She's painting forgery paintings, and she's got herself in trouble, and this dude is blackmailing her, and also trying to, like, marry her. So she's kind of dealing with that, and then Envy comes over here, and Envy's trying to get her to do stuff, and so she's kind of getting pissed off about all of this. But essentially... her and Envy end up working together, and she is now forced into the game with him because something happens to her. And so we're following, mainly the book is these two trying to win the game so that she can win what she lost, and Envy can get his full court back. It's a big book too, so
it is like 600 pages, I think.
Yeah, and
I wasn't expecting it to be that long. I mean, for a book that was, most of her stories don't have a whole lot of plot it runs together nicely. Her plots are all over the fucking place. So I was like, this being 600 pages, I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna have another one of those books where her plot's everywhere. Surprisingly, it wasn't. The plot still stays to this game, and they're trying to maneuver their way through different issues, and the brothers pop up every now and then, and I mean, it's not bad. It sticks along with the plot, so there's no real craziness like Kingdom of the Wicked, where it was everywhere.
Yeah, it does stay linear to this. Yeah. Now, there are smaller things that you learn, because you're going to learn more about, obviously, you're going to learn more about the game. You're going to learn more about who Camilla is. And so you have those sort of side things, but mainly this is the driving plot. And it does stay pretty concise on that.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like the other series. And this is a standalone too, so
yes,
it's a standalone based off of Envy's story. It's this was released shortly before the second book came out. They came out pretty close together. The second book is already out, and it's called Throne of Secrets, and that's the Gluttony one. Which I want to make a side note real quick. I am actually excited about that one. I think I really want to read that one because in the very first series, Kingdom of the Wicked, spoiler. That actually spoilers all over for Kingdom of the Wicked in this book. So if you haven't read it, go and read Kingdom of the Wicked. I really feel like,
or watch our episode.
Yeah, I don't like those books, but if you're going to read this book, I highly suggest reading that book, or just watch our episodes to just push through it, because it's very important.
Yeah.
Especially with gluttony, because it starts off in that book where gluttony's dealing with the reporter. That's
fucking love it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yes.
The little tidbit of gluttony cracks me up.
Yes.
And so then it happens again in this book. He's like, that motherfucker didn't come to my party, blah, 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 blah. And because this reporter is constantly writing shit reviews on him.
On his party.
Yeah, on his party. It's like she's got some fucking vendetta.
Yeah.
And he's like so mad that he can't even enjoy his parties because he's trying to impress this reporter. So it's so funny. So first series, this one, and now he has his own book.
Yes.
With that reporter.
Yes.
So I was like, if it's not about that fucking reporter, I'm gonna be mad.
Same.
It is about the reporter, so I really want to read that.
I'm excited for that too.
So that's a little tidbit on that. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to read
Same.
that.
And of course, she's going to do books for every prince. I mean, that's her plan, anyways.
Yeah.
So.
And I cannot wait, honestly, because sorry that I didn't like the first series, but if it's continuously going like the way this one is, I'm actually excited.
Same. And I guess that's a great segue into our individual ratings. Do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Even though I like this book, I didn't like. It wasn't like the best book ever. I liked it enough, surprisingly. I was like very shocked and surprised that I liked this book. And it wasn't like I somewhat started liking it. I liked it from start to finish. Like I had the same feel from start to finish. I didn't hate any parts. I wasn't like overly excited over any parts. I was consistently reading this with the same like, oh, I like this book. This is not bad. Being that I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. The banter between the FMC and the MMC was fantastic. I've always liked her witty banter though, with the sexual tension between the two. That's fucking wonderful. I loved it. And it wasn't too intense though. It's just enough to keep me satiated. Like I was just like, oh, this is nice. I like this. It was like playful, teasing, flirty banter with a touch of sultry, filthy mouth.
Yes.
And I loved it. It was perfect enough to not make me feel like, oh my god, I should be reading this right now. You know, it's like I could read this and just be fine with it anywhere I go.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit that pissed me off. I was fine with every move they made. It was still intriguing and unique. There's some parts of this book that were very unique.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I really liked it. Being that I just liked the last books, they still used elements of the last book that I did like, or the series that I did like. So I wasn't even mad about it. It almost made me feel like, oh, I'm not too upset that I read those books now to like this book.
Yeah.
But I still hate those books.
And that was the thing too, is that specifically for those books, we agreed that there was good structure here. It was just the execution of it was so bad. The main character was so bad, but the world itself was really interesting.
The world was good. The brothers were fantastic. I don't think I hated any brother except for Wrath.
Yeah.
Wrath was the most boring character.
He was the most boring, especially for being fucking king of the princes.
Yeah, and then you got goddesses everywhere. I feel like now I feel like I've been gypped because I feel like I've been gypped of a story because this story was pretty decent. I'm like, I want her to go back and redo that.
Yes.
Like, please go back and fix that because I feel like you messed things up for me because I really feel like I could have enjoyed that. Being that one of my sins would be wrath.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that in our previous episodes. So anyways, I could go on forever with this. But Spice is 3 out of 5. It wasn't too anything crazy, nothing unique or different. Everything that's been done before is done in this one. Except, of course, there's that filthy mouth that goes along with it that I enjoyed. You know, sometimes it's just about the mouth.
Yes.
The banter, yeah. But it was really good. There's a lot of edging. Teasing, so which is fine. I don't really mind. I was expecting it. It's envy, you know. He's supposed to make her jealous. That's the whole sin of it. But this isn't a book I wouldn't be like, hey, you guys need to read this. I wouldn't recommend it like as the first book to my book friends.
Yeah.
If I'm if they ask me, oh, is this book? I'm like, yeah, you read it if you got nothing else to read. But I wouldn't top it as one of my fucking books. Like, you got to read this one desperately. Hopefully. You know, you get time to push it in your schedule to read it, but it's not like, oh, you desperately need to read this book. But yeah, those are my reviews.
I agree with everything Kristen said, so I'll probably reiterate some of hers. I bumped mine up just a little bit more, and I'll explain why, but I gave it a 3.75, which is an anomaly, and it's really weird, but I'll explain why. Just like Kristen said, like, this one was much better than Kingdom of the Wicked. And I don't know how she managed to turn it around. I was so pleasantly surprised, but you really did it here, Kerri.
Yeah.
Things that I loved about it, Envy was just as bantery as I remembered. He didn't feel like a different character. It literally felt like a seamless flow into his story. He also doesn't feel like a rehash of any of the other characters. Like, all of the princes, even though they have a lot of the same attributes, like they're both smart-mouthed, they're both, like, super high egos and things like that, they still feel unique, and how their powers work are also really, really unique, and I love that in the first one, and I like seeing it here a little bit more, especially with Envy, because Wrath was just boring with his powers.
Yeah, he was.
I loved being in this world and knowing everybody, like, being reunited with these characters. I mean, we're even reunited with Amelia, who I didn't care about, but I get that sort of, like, giddy joy, like, oh, there's Amelia, there's Wrath. You know, but like, it's nice to see you. Exactly. Like, I love to hate you. Yeah, so it's like, hi. And I see,
there they are.
Yeah, and then you get pride, and you get things of gluttony, and you're with lust again, and I'm like reintegrated into this world, and that always makes me happy. Every time these books do that, so it's always a win for me. I love Camilla. Like, hello, Jesus.
Yeah.
Finally, Kerri, I don't know what she was doing with Amelia, but I'm glad she got that out of her system to give me Camilla.
Yeah.
Because these characters are two completely different characters. Every criticism that we had about Amelia is not present with Camilla. Camilla is, like, she's sassy in a way that she could back up. She's smart. She's, like, going toe-to-toe with Envy, playing his same games and besting him constantly. Like, you know, these princes, they're so, I could just come in and fucking woo her, and then she'll just do what I want. And then here she is flipping the table on him, got him, like, his head spinning. He doesn't know what's happening to him. Like, I love that. And she did it in a way that, like, I believed. I'm not, like, looking at her like she wouldn't do that. And I was doing that a lot with Amelia. All the time. Like, there's no way this girl's doing this. There's no way she's acting like this. But Camilla, I'm like, yeah, like, fucking get him. You got that. Like, I love her. Love it. I might have missed this in the first books, but now that I'm rereading it and I'm in this world, I love certain additional world building that we got here, like the Fae, which I don't know that was mentioned in the first book, and if it was, I must have just blacked out.
I don't remember either.
Okay.
But there was definitely witches, there was definitely demons, there was definitely devils and stuff like that.
And vampires and stuff. So all that was prevalent. But now we're introduced to these Fae. And I liked it. It felt seamless. It feels like this world is just
getting bigger.
It's crazy cool. Yeah. It's like we're interdimensional here. They're in these, like, they go to the human realm, and then you go to these Fae realm, and then you go to this island of vampires. Like, the world feels endless, and it feels so fantasy.
I love it.
And I absolutely love it. I also love Camilla's power. Super cool.
Right? Very, very unique.
Very unique. Yeah. And never read a story like somebody having hers. Now, I wish we could have explored this more, because I think she uses it like one time. I wish we could have done way more with this, or twice.
Yeah.
I wish we could have done more, but I understand that there's limitations here because we're at a standalone. So it's not like the whole book. The whole book was set on a course, and I don't think that it could have changed having her use her power in a different way.
Because she used it twice. Once for whatever she was supposed to, and then one more time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, but I liked the first time that she used it. Yeah. It was really cool. I like also seeing the return of these hex items, which we learned about the creation of in the first one, and now here they are coming into play here. Like, all this was so great. Absolutely love it. Okay, so just to sort of sum it up and wrap it up, the reason I'm giving it a 3.75 is because every time I was in this book, I was happy to be here. I was like, this book is great. I'm devouring pages, but when I was out of it, it was really hard to get back into it. And I don't know if that was a me issue, because I was slumping.
I was the same way.
Yeah, so and I didn't feel like a 3.5 was fair, because I do love it. I love both characters. I love the banter. I love the sexual tension. Like, I loved it all, but it was so hard to come back into. And so I wanted to knock it down a little bit, but then I didn't want to go to 3.5 because I don't know. Anyway, so I'm giving it this weird 3.75 because I don't know who the issue is, me or the book. And so for Spice, I gave it a 3.5. This, like Kristen said already, the Spice is not anything to write home about. Like, it's pretty generic. It's not gratuitous. It's not porno-y. It's very basic. And I was a little disappointed because I specifically remember book 2 being like, yo, this shit is great. And I don't know if it's just because I've read crazier stuff since then that is now forever in my head, and I'm like, oh, this is great and all. But nothing here was...
No, because if you think back at that second book where she was like teasing him on the fucking table and shit.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
I didn't get that here, so you're right,
Yeah.
you're right. So it's not me.
No.
It's this, so I'm disappointed, because that was a big reason why I wanted to dive back into her books, because her smut was really good in Kingdom of the Feared. And then you get here and it's just sort of... It's there's nothing crazy.
No.
It's just some touch and feeling basic shit.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it was kind of lame. So, but there is spice. So 3.5. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm still very surprised that I like this book. And
I am too.
And I'm surprised at the feeling that I want to jump into the next ones.
Yes.
Like, I didn't have that feeling I was dreading it. I was like, Crystal, I don't want to read it.
I know.
I don't want to read it. This is the first book you picked that I could recall that you picked that I'm just like, I don't want to read, and came out of it like, you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I got 1 out of like 5.
You're not wrong.
And I think that she picked the order of these books really well.
Yes.
Because going into Envy was a great decision, and
Yes.
then going from Envy to
Gluttony.
Gluttony's story, because Gluttony is so funny. This
Yeah.
thing with this reporter is
Yeah.
hilarious, and it's only like slightly mentioned. I think in the
It's
original
enough.
books it was like enough just to be like, oh, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
And then you bring it up
Yeah.
again, it's like, it's still happening. That's so funny.
4 books later,
Yeah.
it's like he finally gets his book. So I want to see how he's just kind of like so mad. He's trying to get her, pining for her attention, and she's just like, no.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for her reasoning, because I hope he slighted her at some
Oh,
point.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it's like her mission to fucking bring him down.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I really want to read it. I cannot wait.
I hope next she goes for Pride, because Pride has a really interesting story with his wife that's gone
Lust.
missing.
I know, but I want Lust.
Lust is
I hope
good.
Pride is last, honestly.
You know what? He probably is going to be
I
last,
hope
because
so.
that's like the biggest
Yeah.
story that she can link back to the first one.
I think it's going to be last, because I feel like even though there's little things here and there, like he's like the one that they made sure that had issues throughout all the first series, that he started everything.
Mhm.
So I feel like, and of course she was a player in the first book too.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's going to get dragged out.
You're probably right.
But I do want to read really a lot about Lust, because I feel like that's going to be the
Yeah.
smuttiest. If it's not the smuttiest book, Kerri, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be big mad.
You need to go reread your Kingdom of the Feared.
Yes.
And bring that energy
Yes.
to Lust's book.
Yeah.
And then we have Sloth. I'm not really interested in Sloth, even though I like Sloth.
I want to know about Sloth. Though.
He is very mysterious.
Yes.
I don't get the same smartassy vibe from him, the bantery type of thing from him. I don't get that vibe, and that's kind of what I like about these. But I like that he's mysterious.
Yes.
And so that we don't really...
I feel like he's going to be an undercover freak.
Yeah,
That's why it's like, oh, this dude's going to be a
It's
freak.
the nerds.
Yeah. It's always those fucking nerds, man. I'm like really excited. So Sloth and Lust. If Lust doesn't hit hard, I'm going to be disappointed. And Gluttony, of course. Like I don't think there is a brother except for Wrath. I'm so disappointed in the Wrath one. Like,
and that was the one that she gave 3 books to.
Yeah, come on. You should have done that for Lust.
Yeah, she needs to reevaluate. The problem, though, too, that blows my mind is that people love those books.
I don't.
And I just don't get it.
And their categories is young adult.
No. I don't even see a difference, really, between this writing and the first writing.
Other than it's better.
Yeah. So I don't know how those ever got categorized as young adult. Those are...
He got a blowjob on a canoe.
Yo, we went into detail. So you go check out those videos.
Yeah.
But book 2, he was giving it to her, and like mentally, physically, he was present in book 2.
Yeah. So was I.
Yeah. Same. But anyway, so I'm excited that you like the series.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we gave her another shot. Maybe this is going to have to be a thing now. We're going to have to give authors that we've blacklisted one more chance.
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm not going back to no Haunting of Adeline books.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I would
We
go.
still have to discuss we still need to figure out whether or not we are really hating on dark romance.
Yeah, or like non-dub con.
Yeah.
That's gotta be like the specific of it. I don't know.
It definitely is a specific thing on dark romance that we do not like.
Yeah.
We gotta figure that out. We need to do more research.
We do. we do. The problem is, at least as far as this season's concerned, we're all
wrapped
fucking booked up. But next season, We're gonna find some. We're gonna have a whole month of just
dark
romances.
What Crystal and Kristen's research on dark romance, what we like and what we don't like,
what we've discovered about ourselves. If you have any recommendations for dark romances that we should read, please put them in the description, That's my job. Put them in the comments below.
Yeah, we can manage that.
Let us know. And it's specifically, we're trying to figure out, because we read Leave Her Behind and The Haunting of Adeline.
Yeah.
The 3-book, including the novella. And absolutely could not stand those. But we want to read dark romance.
I keep hearing Lights Out is a good one.
Is there no dark romance that's fantasy? Am I just having to read
I think dark romance is
humans?
just dark romance. Because every time dark romantasy is so different. Dark romantasy is the world is dark and there's a lot of gruesome bullshit that's happening. And usually anything that happens sexually between the FMC and the MMC is just, it's not dark between them. Maybe there's a little bit like tying you up, biting and cutting and all the good shit, you know? But nothing like, non-consent.
Okay.
It's already dark enough. They don't need to put non-consent there.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Give us some books, please.
Yeah.
Please. We're desperate for this research.
Well, our other research we have got going on here is Goodreads.
Yeah, our Goodreads for Throne of the Fallen is surprisingly a solid 4. I mean, not surprisingly, but I feel like this is... I'm surprised, okay? At the solid 4.
I'm not, considering they rated everything else so high.
That's true. And this was out of 91,000 reviews. Also, it got not a Good Choice Award. It actually won a Good Choice Award. Nominee for Reader's Favorite Romantasy in 2023.
Oh, okay. So it's a few years ago.
So that's cool. So, of course, because we rated it fairly high, I'm pulling the 1 stars. Erica Renee says, thought I'd be getting fantasy. Instead, I got 50 Shades of Green. I envy everyone who hasn't read this.
It's a little harsh.
Yeah, it was. She did DNF it at 29%, but she says, I don't believe that this is the same woman who wrote Kingdom of the Wicked.
I agree with that.
Hard agree. That's why I included her.
Thankfully.
Yeah, hard agree. Yeah, but for better
reasons. Yeah.
And finally, Kristen Hooper says, I absolutely loved Kingdom of the Wicked series by this author, so I went into this book excited. However, the story fell flat from page 1.
Wow, girl, you need to read a little bit more.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when a fantasy romance is delivered so classless.
What?
I was hoping for ACOTAR or From Blood and Ash approach with the slow burn and passion from a dominant prince.
What?
But this book is just trash. All the characters lack charisma.
I'm sorry. I kept interrupting you. Okay. You expecting ACOTAR levels after reading the first book of fucking Kingdom of the Wicked?
And ACOTAR
that's better?
Is 4 books? 5 books?
It's not even finished.
Singlet.
It's not even
finished.
Okay, but why were you even expecting I love From Blood and Ash. Why would you expect reading Kingdom of the Wicked and being, I want From Blood and Ash level from this author? You aren't getting that. First of all, Jennifer Armentrout wrote a shit ton of fucking books. She's been an indie author forever. You ain't gonna get From Blood and Ash level.
Yeah.
From somebody who's just really wrote a few books, like
who couldn't hold the plot together for a 3-series
book.
Yeah,
girl, you are expecting too much. That's probably the problem.
And also a slow burn and passion with the dominant prince.
This is a fucking standalone 600 pages. How much slow burn do you need? This is already slow burn as it is.
And it was kind of a slow burn. Like
it took forever.
They did have some lusty moments, sure, but like it was insta lust, yes, but it wasn't insta love. So that's where the slow burn is. And he's absolutely a dominant prince. I don't know what else he needed to do.
It took him forever because he could only. I'm about to get into spoilers. I'm going to shut my mouth. We'll discuss this further, Kristen. Wait for the rest of this because I got some shit to say about that. Anyways, I don't want to be bashing anybody's review really too much. I got points to say, okay?
Yeah, same.
I got rebuttals and debates.
we got rebuttal points over here. Also, I strongly disagree that the characters lacked charisma. I can't believe that you went from Wrath and Amelia, and you loved that, but then you're coming here to these two who have way more personality in their fucking pinky to say they have no charisma.
Obviously, they hated what we liked, and we liked what they hated.
What did you like, though?
I don't know.
You liked the boring Wrath who did nothing, though he is Wrath, and he's the prince of
I know
all
what-
of the demons.
I know what they liked. They liked when he ran away from Amelia. And he ripped the door off the wall for no reason.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
I do remember those. Yeah.
That's the takeaway from all those books I remember. And of course the lust scene in the corridor. But
yeah.
how can you guys... And I, like I said, I'm a wrath sinner. I fucking would rip the fucking door off the hinges too. I mean, I love all that. My problem is it was for no reason.
Yeah,
like
he's just moping for no reason. Now I will give you. Now if you say to me, "Hey Crystal, I like the wrath that like got her all hot and bothered and fucking told her to finish it herself and left."
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good.
I like the wrath who made her get down on her knees and like if you want to say that, yeah. But that was one book, and then he was boring in the beginning. He was boring in the end. Like I said, he was only present for one book. And then you got Amelia, who's just fucking stupid the entire time. There's no way, there's no in any of those books where you're like, this is where I liked her, and I would be like, yeah, you're right, way more charisma.
No. Like I said, we got some rebuttals.
We do. Sorry, Kristen. It's not, we just a hard disagree. Really to all of you guys, but that one the most.
Yeah, because they're the ones I don't disagree with. I just think that they like what we don't like, you know? But that last one is coming out of the woodwork. Like I don't know, I got. If me and her were sitting together, we'd be yelling at each other.
Yeah, I think so.
We'd be like, no, in a good way.
Yeah, in a productive way.
Yeah.
Because it's all love over here. Yeah. But anyway, so that's our overall review. That's a Goodreads review, and now we're gonna get to our favorite part: the spoilers.
I love the spoilers.
I love the spoilers too.
Because I hate holding back. Because I got some shit to say.
I know. I got some funny parts, some hot parts to talk about.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Let's see. I got a lot here. Damn.
I'm gonna try and like I said a few episodes, I'm gonna keep mine to 5. So if Crystal lists some of the stuff that I probably would like to, I want to put a different take on it because I don't want to just talk about the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's nice even if Crystal likes the same thing I like. I'm just gonna go on take on a different 5 topic points that she has discussed, if I can, because sometimes I don't like that many things of a book.
Yeah, same.
But I think it would be cool to just differentiate between other parts of the book.
All right, so I'll say my first is in the very beginning, is when Camilla, so Vexley comes up and he's like,
fuck that dude.
Yeah, fuck that dude. He's blackmailing her, saying, we got to get married. She's like, fuck you, I'm not going to get married to you, blah, blah, blah. He leaves and she's like angry painting. And then somebody walks in and she says to them, I'm not interested. I'm not in the market for a husband, my lord. Please just go. Of course, she doesn't look. Of course, it's envy. And he's like, is that how you welcome all patrons, or just the ones that you find handsome? And of course, she's like, oh my god, oops. Like, I didn't mean to.
It's not actually.
Yeah, whoops. But the thing that I like about this is, like, obviously this interaction is kind of funny, but it switches from her POV to his POV, and he's talking about how basically he just thought he was gonna walk in, command the room, and she was gonna do his bidding. And I love that this is his first idea. Like, he knows that, like, I need to get this girl to write this or draw this thing for me. Yeah. I'm so hot. Like, I'm just gonna come on in there. And yeah, he is. And all of these women have been trained to please the men in this time frame. So I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna wink at her, and I'm gonna be like, do this for me. And Camilla's like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. She's like, get out, leave, like, I don't like you. And this is her personality the entire way through. And it's also his, like, him thinking he can use his seduction and his sexiness to use her, and she flips the script on him
every time.
And this very beginning nugget I appreciate so much because this is where it starts and it just kind of escalates from here. And I thought that this was just so funny. His point of view of just, I'm just gonna come in here and be hot and she's gonna paint it for me. I probably would have painted it for him.
I would have fucked with him a little bit. I would have fucked with him and like, oh yeah, really, you want this fucking painting? What am I gonna get out of it? What am I gonna get for it? Like, I would have fucked with him.
And I love that he does offer that. He's like, do you want me to fuck you up against this wall for this?
Yeah.
I know, probably. Yeah, actually. Let's go, and then I'll paint your fucking hex throne. That's totally fine. Let's do it. So yeah, I love that. Another part that I really love is so this girl, she's dead set on finding this forgery, and she's at this big party at Vexley's house, and she's snooping through all of the fucking house, and she's looking for him, or looking for this thing, and so there's 2 parts of this I like. So she's going through, and she sees this in one of these rooms above the mantle, and I quote, it was a portrait on a mantle. It was a nude man who looked strikingly like Vex the Hex. sprawled across the cloud. His hand was wrapped around his engorged member, paused mid-stroke, his gaze fixed prematurely, or presumably, on whoever had caught his fancy. And I literally had my notes highlighted, like, what the fuck is this?
That's fucking awesome.
I love the connection between him having a naked portrait of himself, and also Envy having a naked portrait. So she sees this, and of course she's like, what the fuck is this? Whatever. She closes it, then she goes, and she ends up finding the forgery that she's looking for, obviously, because she's trying to get it from him. And as she's, like, trying to dismantle it, she hears, like, a voice behind her, like, say, oh, please don't stop on my account. And then it stops for her POV, and it goes to Envy's POV, and he's, you know, casually sitting there watching her. And he says to her, like, I'm rather interested to see where this comes next, Miss Antonius. And just kind of watching her.
I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
And so, like, that's already great. Like, he's already coming up, being suave. I love that he calls her Miss Antonius all the time, too. And then he walks up there, and they're both on the bed, and she's trying to do this, and he says something to her, and she, like, tries to shove him, and she falls, but then he somehow catches her, and they land, and she's on him. And she's freaking out. Like, of course, they're having this moment of, like, oh, yeah. Like, this is pretty hot. And she ends up standing up because now they can hear Vexley walking and asking, you know, hey, is anybody up here, blah, blah. So they're getting up, and she's, like, freaking out. She's like, oh, my God, her skirt's all disheveled, her hair's all just, she's, like, trying to fix herself. She's like, you need to take care of that situation right there. And he's like, what situation? Obviously, he's, like, aroused.
Yeah.
And he's like, have you never seen a situation before, Miss Antonius? Like, I love it, because obviously he has this idea that she's pure because they're in this, like, whatever time frame that they're in.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
That part, though, I want to add on to it, so I don't have to go back to it. He locks Vexley out of his own room.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shuts the painting into the wall. Like, he locks it on the wall so she can't get it off. Because she got it off a minute ago, but now she can't. And Vexley's locked out. So all this shit's happening, and it's all because of Envy.
Yes.
Envy did that because he didn't want her to take the painting. He comes and takes the painting later. So he can have that bargaining chip, except for Vexley having it. Oh my God, that part was fucking funny.
I love that. Yeah, that whole scene was great. And I'll do one more. Oh, no. Okay, I'll do one more. Yeah, I'll do one more so I don't take them off, because I'm sure you have some of the same. One of my favorite parts is when they're... I think this is... I don't really know where in the book it is. Forgive me. But essentially, they're with each other, and he pushes into her a memory of Vittoria.
Yes! I do know where that part is. But go ahead.
Okay, so he pushes in a memory to her. I think he's trying to stoke her envy because he needs her power.
Yes.
And so he pushes this memory of Victoria sleeping with, or screwing, like in front of him, his friend, his second, Alexi, who's his vampire friend. Trying to entice him because she's been wanting to sleep with Envy forever. So she's trying to do that, and he pushes that into her memory to feed her Envy so that she can do it. She then retaliates by pushing a memory into his head instead, and it's of her giving a blowjob to some other dude.
Yeah.
And Envy freaks the fuck out. He's like trapped. He can't get out.
Yeah, and he's like, who is this dude? Because he can't see the faces.
Yes.
But he can see everything she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like, I wouldn't care that she's like giving some other dude blood, but I can't watch it. And so he starts like screaming and panicking and freaking out. Somehow she ends it and draws him out. And when he gets out of it, she's got his ass pinned up against the wall with a dagger. Oh my God, I fucking love it. I'm screaming at how.
Yeah,
like,
that was
I
great.
Love her. And this this moment is like, yo,
top tier. That was the best moment of the book. Yeah,
literally. This is her in a nutshell. Like, he keeps thinking he's going to come in here and he's going to, like, stroke her envy. He's going to make her all lusty and hot for him. And she just flips the table every time. And this was... I love it. I could just imagine the panic of, like, ooh, look at this girl who wants me to fuck her. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm trapped. How do I get out of here?
I'm trapped in a memory where she's fucking giving somebody a blowjob.
Like, oh, my God, please. Oh, it's so funny.
He was so upset.
And then, like, and this just escalates, right? Because she's got him up against a tree with a dagger. And, of course, it gets hot and heavy. And then this is when they start, like, they're getting hot. And they're in the middle of the fucking wood.
Yes.
And he's like, fuck it, we're just going to do it right here on the floor.
And then they get interrupted.
Yes.
And then she disappears.
Yeah, he's like getting up. He's like, I think we should go. And he's like, she's gone.
Wait, where are you?
This scene was masterful. It was done really well.
I love that scene.
So
that is my favorite scene.
Yeah.
The best.
So good. But yeah, I'll save the crumbs for you. No, I'm
okay.
just kidding.
I got a few crumbs. Okay, so mine are a little bit smaller. Obviously, they are the crumbs. But I love that Lust comes in this book, and he's just like, brother, stop fucking around. Use your lust. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get this girl. And he's like, I'm trying. It's like, you're right, I'm trying, but it's not fucking working. And so like, I love that Lust is in there, like, persuading all the brothers, not just Envy, but he's like, the only way you're gonna get a girl is lust. My sin. I'm like, dude, I cannot wait for you.
He's like, if you can't do it, do you need us? Do you need some other people to come in and this?
Oh, absolutely love it. So I am already locked in for the Lust book. Hard. So we talked about that. Oh my god. The massage scene. How did we forget that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So like, Envy tells her, you're going to go into your room, get naked, and I'm going to give you a massage, whatever. I remember exactly how that happened. But she flips the script on him. She's like, oh no, fuck this dude. So she does. She's practically wearing nothing, puts the massage oils on the table, and he comes in, she's like, practically naked. Mm-hmm. And he's like, fuck man, this isn't working for me. I'm so fucked. So anyways, he massages her. They get a little hot and heavy. He's like, fuck, I'm going to go farther. So he eats her out. Then leaves her high and dry. And she's so fucking mad. Mm-hmm. So fucking mad. Oh my god. I was like, oh, that's so harsh. But it's so good. I can't remember if that's the part where she ends up. No, I think that was in the bathtub. But there's a part where she ends up getting so pissed at Envy because he doesn't finish her off. So she finishes herself off. But she is like moaning so loud on purpose that he has no choice, but he hears it. So now he's like, fuck, and so he has to get himself off somewhere else. Uh-huh. Oh, that part's hilarious.
I want to add on to your part, though, that same part. So
the massage?
Yeah, so the next night, she's there to paint. Yeah. And he's like, oh, she's either going to be super mad or she's going to be, like, love struck. Yeah. And he is so upset that she just ain't giving a fuck. She's like, okay, I'm here to paint. Yep. Get my paint. And she looks at him because he's like, let Alexi know if you need anything. Yep. And she looks at him. She's like, I would like some tea. Yeah. He's so fucking butthurt. He's like, you want some cream in that too? You want some fruit? You want some pastries?
And she's like,
no thanks. Yeah. Thanks for asking though, but I don't want it.
And she's like, now leave. I best paint when I'm alone.
Yeah, and he gets aroused that he's dismissed, and then he like tries to fuck with her some more, and she dismisses him again, and he's like, fuck. He's like extra horny.
Yeah, and dismissed. Extra horny and dismissed.
And extra dismissed. Like,
oh my god,
I love how butthurt he is. Like, damn, she was supposed to be tripping all over my dick, and now she just does she really not care?
Yeah, he's like extra thinking hard.
She plays him so hard.
Oh, I love it. I also like his filthy fucking mouth. I'm just gonna say overall thing. Envy has a filthy fucking mouth. There's a part where he goes, he says, I promise, sweet Camilla, you won't be shouting for God when I'm buried inside you. I'll be ruthless when I grace your sheets. I was like, dude, I'm in love. So that's just a tidbit of like the shit he says, but he just keeps testing and teasing Camilla to be pushed, and she just comes right back almost every time. So that's just wonderful. But there's another part closer to the end where Kitty and Camilla are talking, and she doesn't know Envy's there. She hasn't seen Envy in forever, because whatever, I don't know, he's in his world. And Kitty goes to her, would you sell your soul to fuck him again? Right? And Envy's in the corner just like, he's like, would you sell your soul to fuck me again?
That's how he comes back. Yeah.
That's how. So she's like fucking shocked, but he is dripping blood. He's got this big ass fucking beautiful wings, and he's dripping blood from her brother's court because it was assassination attempt. That's why he came out of the woodwork. But also, I love what he tells her. He's like, grab whatever is sentimental to you, because we're fucking leaving. And she goes, well, what are you here? He's like, I'm grabbing what's sentimental to me. I
know.
Smooth.
So good.
Smooth as butter. I was like, that's great. And then she goes, what about your stupid fucking rule? And he goes, fuck these rules. You're mine. I was like, I love it. But yeah, those are my favorite parts. I think I said a little bit more than 5, but
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
we make our own rules. But also, I don't know if you didn't have it, but I'm just gonna say it because you didn't say it. The sin corridor scene.
Oh yeah,
that was a good scene.
Yeah.
So she, of course, and I love this that we're back at the sin corridor because this was one of the first shocking scenes of was it the second book? I think it was the second book.
Yeah.
Where in the Kingdom of the Feared, the sin corridor scene and that one was really good.
Yeah.
And so I was excited to be back here for this one. And so she did do another sort of scene in here, and it's again Camilla. She's like supposed to be testing by the sins. Obviously, she's unaffected by it because she's Fae. So she's in this, but she's like pretending to be. I think maybe she's being influenced a little bit by lust, and she's just sort of giving into it. And he's like locked on whatever she's doing. Yeah. He's like touching himself. He's like, yeah, this is great. And then out of nowhere, she gets up on him. Oh, because he's like, that's right. He's like, Camilla. He's like freaking out as she's thrusting. She's getting up on him. She's straddling him. She's freaking out. She's sleeping. Camilla. Yeah. Camilla,
wake up. You're in the lust. Yeah. And she's like, no, I'm awake.
She's like, oh, I'm awake. And she's like grinding up on him. She's like, I just want you to tell me two truths.
He did that to her, by the way.
Yes, he did. And he's like, okay, I'll tell you two truths. She's like, do you think about when you were going down on me? And do you still remember the taste? Or did you like the taste?
Did you like it, yeah.
And he's like, yes.
And I think about it constantly.
Yeah. And she's like, okay. And then she gets up and snuggles into bed and goes to sleep.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, he's like all fucking hard and dealing with that shit. I love it. I love it.
I love that. But I had to put that in there. I think those are probably all the best parts.
They are. I have a few things to discuss, though.
Oh, yay, cool.
It's actually pretty fucking sad.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's the part where Envy goes back to his court and he sees his best friend all fucking crazed out, memory lost, and her whole family's dead. She killed them.
Killed her kids.
Yeah, her babies. Mm-hmm. And then she realizes in a moment of clarity what she did and she can't live with herself, so she shoots herself or kills her. I don't know. She kills herself.
Yeah.
In front of Envy.
Yep.
And Envy is distraught.
That was super sad.
Yeah, this is like one of his best friends he's had forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
But yeah, I have that. And we've already talked about her unique power to conjure up things.
That was so
But I really enjoyed the very last one because she conjured up a sword that was iron. She had to touch. And she was struggling to touch it, but she still managed to defeat her father to save Envy. And then Envy does the last blow. But I love that.
Yeah.
Those are my two. I should have put that in my love parts, but I felt it was more of a discussion because of her unique power. Like, you don't see that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Which we kind of already touched on.
It was so cool. I would love for her to be doing more worlds, like creating actual worlds. Like, she's creating objects, but she can create worlds.
Everything. She can create
anything.
Her power is vast because she's one of the 4 children of the Unseelie King. Mm-hmm. And every one of those kids have an extravagant, wondrous, unique, powerful power. So
I wish we had a little bit more into the Fae worlds.
I wonder if she's going to do a book of every one of those brothers.
That would be
sisters.
really cool. Or just give me more of this world, this extra thing that you've added onto it. I really like it. I also want something in the vampire court world because that was really cool. Now that we have a different, I love that whole scene.
Yeah, I feel like maybe with the gluttony, even the sloth book. The sloth is a knowledge book.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll discover more things in that one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall, it was a great book.
I do have one thing to discuss. So I think for our final series finale episode for this one, we need to be sipping on some Dark and Sinful. And I pasted the recipe in here, which is...
They have a recipe?
Yeah, they had said it. Well, he said it in the book what it was.
Oh, and so I don't remember that.
His Dark and Sinful, it's a decadent concoction. He created one evening of muddled blackberries, brown sugar simple syrup, bourbon, orange zest, and a splash of champagne.
Ooh, I'm all for that.
Yeah, so I pasted it here specifically so that we could come back. And if you would like to drink it, it is there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All that. But he was drinking on that a lot. Every time he was in his court, he was drinking on his Dark and Sinful.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we will have to do that for our...
Sounds delicious.
So we'll be having a really, really fun season finale.
Oh my god, I'm going to have to clear my schedule for that day.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that. But anyways, this book was good. I was pleasantly surprised. I still want to get us like those conch necklaces.
There's a girl that does. Remember I sent you the link?
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's in that.
I've seen that one, and I've seen like a really small one from like Bookish or something. Has like a tiny one.
And it's like something she used to stab the eye of the fucking basilisk or whatever. So ridiculous.
Yeah, we thoroughly critiqued that shit because that was ridiculous. It's still not. I've yet to see one big enough to stab a basilisk in the eye.
No. Fucking wild.
I don't know, man. Anyways, this one was great. I loved it.
That's a good one.
I'm excited for our next episode though too because it's June. Obviously we're behind. Okay,
yeah,
all of June was supposed to be Draco month. We were supposed to dive back into some Draco Hermione fan fictions. It's been a long time. I think we were doing them this time last year because I remember being fucking hot while we were discussing it.
We were doing that.
We read the whole thing. 2 last year.
Mortifying Ordeal and
Breath Mints and Battle Scars. Yeah. 5s, both of those, by the way.
Wonderful books.
And June is Draco's birthday month, so we were supposed to do a whole month of that. We're obviously behind, so we had to move one. I don't know what the schedule looks like now, but I do know that the next one is going to be Secrets and Masks. And this is one that I've read that Kristen hasn't, and then there's one more on our list that I've read that Kristen hasn't, but I need her to read all of the ones that I've already read. Yes. Then we have another one, The Auction, which neither one of us has read, but we know is really popular, and that one is getting published as Rose and Chains.
Rose and Chains.
In July.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah, so when we're going to read both of the ones that are coming out, because there's The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, which is
the Mortifying Ordeal.
Yeah, so we will read both of those in September when they come out, but of course we're reading the fan fiction so we can compare and contrast because we do the research here for you.
Yes, we do.
It's great. But anyway, so come join us next episode for our Hermione fan fiction. I'm so ready.
Yes.
I'm ready for my Draco back in my life.
Yes, I'm super excited. If you watch or look for our reading and review schedule, you'll see, well, if it's updated, I don't know if it is, or it's probably somewhere around there. Who knows? But we're here on Fridays at 5 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time.
All right, guys, we will see you next time.
Bye.